When I first walked into that building, probably now about 9 years ago, I fell in love with that holy box. And it's a landmark in Seattle. And every day I hear stories from people, often not Episcopalians, that tell me how that holy box, what it means to them and what it's meant for them in their life. Today I was talking to a Lutheran bishop, and he said to me, unsolicited, he said, you've got the best thing in the world. I mean, nobody could do this but you. You've got this box on the hill that everybody can see and everybody recognizes. And he said, I love it when your dean says, this is your church. And he said, when I'm there, I feel like it is. And the city feels like it is our church. It's a public church. And it's been that long before I got here, long before lots of us got here. But that's the legacy that we now have to uphold. And so the vision for me, when you ask what is the vision of this campaign, it is, number one, to be successful. And really, I think the reason we have to be successful is we do have a great legacy to uphold. There are a lot of people that say that we don't need church buildings anymore, that that we've kind of moved past that era. But I am not one of those people. I believe very strongly that Christianity, in the best sense, is kind of a materialistic faith. It needs place. And I got two favorite metaphors for a church. One is an airport. Reggie McNeil talks about this. He asks, what's your favorite airport? And there are not many that I have that are my favorites. But I can think of a few, but he whatever you name, he says, well, would you like to live there? And sometimes I feel like I'm going to live there. But the answer is no, because that's not what they're for. Airports are to facilitate a journey. You go there in order to prepare yourself to go somewhere else. And that's actually what a church building ought to be. The other metaphor I like is a base camp, which is very much the same. It's not a place we stay. It's a place we go to get fed. It's a place we go to heal. It's a place we gather when we're in grief. And certainly this building has done that for this city many, many times. I actually heard somebody in this room use this word tonight. They said, well, I'm vicariously attached to this building. And there are so many people in this city that are vicariously attached to this building. And I would say they're members of this vicariously. I hear this a lot. They say, that's the church I'd go to if I went to church. This is a motto you might want to use. The church you'd go to if you went to church. Why? Because it means something to this city and to this community. And that's important. And I'm serious. I hear stories everywhere. I was on a plane not about a year ago probably, and a woman behind me was telling a stranger about what she likes to do on a date. Some of it I won't tell you. But I'll tell you. She said, if it's a Sunday night, she said, I tell my date, no matter what we do, we have to go to Compton at St. Mark's. She said, I've been going there, and it's my attachment to the sacred. We go there for Compton. And then she started describing. She said, it is the coolest thing. She said, these monks live in the basement. She was telling me, in all seriousness. They live in the basement, they come up out of the basement. And they go back in the corner and they sing this beautiful song, and then they go back in. I just didn't have the heart to tell her, one drives away in a Porsche. But there's stories like that everywhere about how this place has been a center point for the city. And it truly is the public church. So I hope you'll support it, because it's not just about the Episcopal Church, it's about our community. And it's about this community that we share. And I want to thank all of you.
It's really an important milestone in the life of St. Mark's Cathedral, and I think by extension in the life of the greater Seattle area, because of the iconic place that great building and the community that calls that place its cathedral serves in the broader community. You likely know much of the storied history of the place, how it was built. Started its construction in 1928. The stock market crashed. They lost its building in the 30s. Got it back after the war, during which it served as an artillery battery for the Army, but it was never completed. And as a result, in 2012 and 2013, we started having chunks of the concrete on the external walls start popping off. Let me show you one, just as show and tell to make the case. So this one fell from about 70 feet up, and you can imagine it's probably about 2 pounds. You can imagine that if that fell on someone's head, it would be lethal. We had over 200 pieces fall in a several-month period. We barricaded off for safety and hired engineers to come and tap literally every square inch of concrete on the external walls and remove all the loose and seal it temporarily. But now we're trying to do what generations before have not yet been able to do, and that is to seal the envelope of the building in a way that this building can continue to serve this great city for generations to come. The goal for this project is really simple, and it's threefold. It's to enclose the envelope of the building, to seal it so that the weather is no longer the risk that it is currently, to replace the windows, the great windows in the nave, which were never intended to last their 86 years now, and are rusted and flimsy, and many of the panes are broken, and they're not serviceable, and so we're looking to replace the windows is the second thing. And the third is the building was never made accessible to people who have difficulty getting up steps or down steps or down hills or up hills. Those are the challenges of St. Mark's, 5 different floor levels in the building, and it pains my heart that our columbarium is a place where loved ones who have a disability cannot go and pay respects to the ones that they love and are interred there, as an example, or can't get into certain parts of the building if they're in one part and go to the other. So accessibility is the third element. That's a big challenge. We'll talk more in a few moments about the details, and we'll answer any questions that you have. And if you want one of these as an heirloom, I'm sure we can go down that aisle.